Okay, hello everyone. Okay, so welcome to this video on self-mastery. Okay, so as you know, you watched the soccer referee video last week. You also were wondering like, how is this packed to all the things that you'll be seeing in the future videos. So the whole idea of what we're going to do in the following weeks is I'm going to be sending you short videos that will help to introduce you to the components of self-mastery. Right? So again, what is self-mastery? Okay, basically you can see that over here, I mean, just to make it more friendly. Okay. There's the idea of self-concept. Okay. There's the idea of relationship management as well as self-regulation. Okay. So self-concept basically is what you think of yourself. Like, for example, if you're going to give examples, which I'll go show you later. Relationship management basically is how your relationship with your peers, the other external stakeholders in your life, like your teachers, your peers, your family, your friends. And usually, if your self-concept and self-regulation is good, then the relationship management will be actually take good care of itself. Okay, so these two will actually affect this as well. But these three so-called smaller triangles make up the whole pyramid that engulfs self-mastery. Okay, and what you really went through last week, which on the idea of cognitive regulation, this was the part that we watched the soccer referee video. All right. So the soccer referee video actually talks about cognitive regulation, which is one part that I'm slowly introducing to you all. And again, self-regulation is further broken down into another three components, three branches. And regulation goes into emotional, right? Regulating your emotions. Also another video that we watched last week on cognitive regulation, right? Which we talk about the two strategies. One was it's like basically, you don't take it personally. Remember, don't take it personally, all right? And also, it's not about me, it's about we, right? Oh, okay. Also, one was it's not about me, it's about we. It's not about me. And second, if it's about me, then you have to give yourself empathy, right? So this was some of the things that we went through last week. So that's one component of cognitive regulation, yeah. And the second part is behavioral as well as emotional, right? So we'll be looking at I'll be slowly unpacking this pyramid to you in the following weeks as we watch some short videos. Okay, so hopefully you won't fall asleep. Okay, so okay, the next one, the idea is on self-concept. Okay, what's the idea of self-concept? If you remember, self-concept is one of the triangles that we see, right? Okay, so what's the idea of self-concept? Self-concept basically is what you perceive of yourself. All right. You may be able to list your abilities. Like for example, today, if I were to ask you, hey guys, what do you think about yourself? Can you tell me your strengths and weaknesses? You should be able to have a mental picture of who you are or how your friends will describe you when you are not in the room. Okay, so I mean, when we are young, generally we keep ourselves open-minded. We are, test water. We want to find out our strengths and weaknesses. So a lot of self-concept starts to come in deeper and deeper when you go into senior high or the upper JH, where you start to think, oh, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. When you start to have failure, all this, okay, and it gets more and more as you grow older, lah. So you can see that when you go older, you become like more and more timid because that's when you start to give examples, which may not be true, right? You start to give examples where, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm not able to do all the following, right? I can give examples of me not be able to pass up my math homework or whatsoever. I'm a good fair listener, okay? So it's a picture of who you are as a person. Again, all this may not be true because it's merely a self-concept, all right? So, of course, having good self-mastery can allow you to also have a positive self-concept. Okay, it can allow you to change your self-concept. So why do we have the importance of building self-mastery? Because the thing is, nowadays, where you deal with a lot of high-stress situation, there are increasing number of, us getting breakdown, getting stressed, getting overwhelmed by a lot of things that external environment, things happen in the external environment, teachers scolding us, parents, having to manage expectations of so many people around us, right? So how do we have the capacity to regulate ourselves, to manage all these expectations, and to at the same time have meaningful relationships and enjoy learning with our friends? Okay, so having a good frame of mind, which can be built on by self-mastery, allow us to do all this. Okay, so I think the first one that you met was the cognitive regulation. I think you saw the video that we was really modifying the thought process. And you can see how powerful the way that this guy speaks and the kind of tools that he introduced to you to change the way you think, right, about a stressful situation, and you can immediately take away all your negative feelings, right? So just to recap, he talked about, a lot of times when we are upset, it's because it's about own ego, right? Where we put a lot of effort into things and then people just walk away, right? So that's sometimes where it give us so much, intensity in our feelings, right? And the two strategies that he talked about was one is not about me, right? Instead, look at the other person's intention, look at whether are they in a stressful situation which is cause them to break down. And second, if it's about you, it's about me, we give ourselves empathy. We talk about how we feel, all right? And ultimately, in the end of the video, they said about people may attack you, they may criticize you or ignore you, but no matter what happened, right, you will always keep your value. Okay, example, if you recall, he was using the $20 note and he was putting his mouth, he was tapping on the floor. Okay, so this is a form of regulation. Remember that in the triangle, there's cognitive, there's behavioral, and there's also emotional. And we are looking at cognitive for today. Okay, so a second thought process too is to engage in reflective thinking, right? Reflecting about what happened. A lot of times this is easy, especially when we do sports, right? When we do sports and then we watch the video after that of how you're performing. It's easy for you to take yourself out of the situation and look at the person playing and critically, give advice or a pinpoint or feedback to the person who's playing, right? So a lot of times it's done through gameplay. Okay, yeah. So it involves an awareness of the reasons behind our perceptions, emotions, and actions. Okay, so it's really like mental cognition, thinking about what you are doing, taking yourself out of the box and out of the activity. Okay. So with that, I think I finished. So just to let you know, the next video, following videos, it will also be short videos. It will also encompass you to fill in some questions on Google Classroom. And after that, from now, you can go ahead to fill the question in the Google Classroom. Thank you.